Welcome on into the Wild Willie Podcast Show. I'm Willie Colon, and he is
JJ, baby. What's going on with you, Big Willie? What's going on up there?
Oh, we got a very special show. It is cold, JJ, to be matter of fact. Everybody out there, we got a very special guest, James Harrison. He will be joining us on the pod today. Super excited. JJ and I had the opportunity to sit down and chop it up with him, catch up with him about football, life, everything he has going on. JJ, I want to get right to it. You are in Jackson, Mississippi. I am here in New Jersey. It is 11 degrees. We already have 5 inches of snow. They're calling for 3 more. It is snowing in your neck of the woods. And one thing I know about Jackson, Mississippi, or the South, period, when you guys get snow, everything shuts down. So I'm asking you, how are you handling the snow and the cold weather?
Well, Big Willie, unfortunately, we didn't get to make a snowman because we ain't got no snow. I'm very disappointed, Big Willie. We got it up in the Macomb, Mississippi area, but in Jackson, Mississippi area, no snow, Big Willie, just cold weather. As a matter of fact, I just took the dog out not too long ago, and the dog looking at me like, hey, man, ain't you about ready to get up in the house? Anytime the dog beat you to the door, got done before you can get there, Big Willie, it's cold. As a matter of fact, I had to go got done at check on the job today, and the contractor was like, man, can we just look at the pictures on my phone? It's too goddamn cold. We was out there, Big Willie, my hands were froze, every goddamn thing. We ain't used to this here, Big Willie. The dog don't like it, and I don't like it either.
It is indeed cold, man. I saw it down in New Orleans. New Orleans they got snow.
Wow.
New Orleans, it's snowing. I think they got 3 to 4 inches. Atlanta, I think, got some more inches. So the fact that Jackson doesn't have any inches of snow on the ground is kind of a blessing, because I remember one of my few early trips to Mississippi. I think it was around February, to be honest, and it was like an ice storm that hit. And I can remember when we landed, like the airport being like extremely like quiet and desolate. And I can remember going around town like, where the hell is everybody at? And my wife being like, these folks out here don't deal with no snow. They don't deal with no cold weather. This is something they don't do. And then people were it was wild. You know, there was the sheets of ice on the road, rightfully so. It was really cold. And I'm like, why doesn't, this is supposed to be like a blue collar town. And I think we were staying at the King Edward downtown. And as we were going, down to the hotel in downtown Jackson into the hotel, like all the sidewalks was just the sheets of ice. And I'm like, they don't have nobody with an ice pick around here to break some of this up. I thought Jackson was this hard working blue collar town. They don't have no maintenance crew around here. And my wife was like, So I'm glad you're doing good. I was worried about you, because you, like my wife, anytime it's cold and it's snowy, my wife gets the snow blues. Like, she gets depressed. Like, even I remember her first time in New York, when she arrived here to stay. I think her first winter, we got up to like 15 to 20 inches of snow, and I was out and about because I'm used to the snow. And I remember her talking to my mother like, "Is this real? Like, is this snow real?" And she was just like, "Yeah, baby, this is New York. Like, this is what it is. It snows up here. This is the winter, and you got to get used to it." So around this time, my wife does not like going outside, so I have to literally grab her sometimes. Like, you got to get out this house. You can't burrow in just because it's cold weather and snowing. Like, this is what happens in the Northeast, excuse me. So you got to get used to it. So I don't want you to burrow, JJ. This too shall pass, if you will.
Exactly, man. Let me tell you, Big Willie. I mean, to be honest, Big Willie, a lot of times, we don't want to sit down. God be wanting you to sit down, and we'll work if we just need to work, because we just know we can get it out there and we can just get in. We just don't know when to stop. But I gotta learn to appreciate these days like this. For one reason, I'm able enough to get some taxes done. I can basically go over my payroll, see what everybody made, get their 1099s together, and that stuff take time. So I look at this time where I can't just really get out and take care of a lot of, business that, I normally wouldn't take care of if the sun was out, because I'd be out there grinding. So this gives me some spare time to actually get a lot of taxes done, get at everything that my account need and all that type of stuff. And we need days like this at the beginning so we can kind of reboot, get everything in order like we need to. And then after we get everything we need, then we get out there and grind again.
Yeah, as you're talking and as you're talking about the time you have on the couch and kind of sitting at your desk getting your paperwork together,
Yeah.
I do know there's another side to you where I'm like, poor so Gucci. She got this horny ass dog just chasing her around the house. It's too cold where she can't run outside to go for a jog or hide. She gotta be inside that house with you, just like, hey baby, how you feeling, baby? You know, let's watch a movie and chill. Let's get close. I can
Yeah.
see your horny ass chasing
It,
so Gucci around the house.
it is funny you said that because this morning she had on this good old goddamn short set,
Mm-mm.
and I said, "Ooh, baby, I need to handle some of that right there." Well, baby, we ain't gotta wait till the night. Got done, and you know we ain't old. We can got done and do it in the daytime. We can got done and do it for lunch and in the evening, and if you want to do it at night too. But Big Willie, they talk all that goddamn stuff, got done, and then got done when it's time. Well, baby, let me handle this phone call, got done. Why you get my hopes up like this? And I'm looking forward to this. You don't tell a man stuff like that. Then you got to go handle some business. And it's like we tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Like, God dang, how long that phone call gonna last? When you tell us that, Big Willie, we like a child. When you tell a child, got done it, he gonna get something. We look forward to it.
You're man. This is why we got to break so Gucci and Akeisha up, because
Yes.
my wife hit me with the same thing. It was, I think I had got out, I had went to the weight room and I came home and she was like, so what do you have planned for the day? And I'm like, I was like, I'm gonna go work out. I gotta go do this. I gotta do this. I was like, you know, I got things to do. She was like, oh, well, I was thinking once we take the kids to school, me and you can have some us time, we time, if you. I was like, oh, okay. She's like, I'm gonna get that rose and I'm gonna ride that thing, and we going. And I'm like, yeah,
Big Willie,
like,
you know what I'm saying? You
I was like,
feeling good, yeah.
the day went by.
Yeah.
Time went by. I'm laying in bed like, all right, the kids asleep. This is it, baby.
Yeah.
What's up? She's like, oh, you still want to do that? I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Do I still want to do that? I've been waiting all day. I got all my errands done early. I made sure nobody called me past 7 o'clock. I did everything I was supposed to do. What do you mean? Do I still want to do that? She's like, oh, okay. Well, I'll get you tomorrow, baby. You okay? You get some sleep because you got work in the morning. And I was just like,
I feel you, Big Willie. I feel you. Thank you.
I feel you, JJ.
Exactly. It's like they plant the seed, but they forget to water.
Right. Not water it. They kick that goddamn that hose down the road and tell you to go fetch it.
Exactly. So yeah, we gotta get them to stop talking.
Yeah, we gotta get them to stop. Because they spend too much time talking and conversing.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna take a break. Oh, by the way, great football weekend. The playoffs are done. Congratulations to the Commanders. Congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. Congratulations to the Chiefs. And congratulations to the Buffalo Bills. All 4 teams will be playing in the conference championships. So it's a big football weekend. We're going to dive into that with James Harrison as well. But come on back to Why Willie Podcast Show. Welcome on back to the Why Willie Podcast Show. JJ, from time to time, I like to read the newspaper. In New York, we have the New York Post, the Daily News, the Times, on and on and on. And last episode of the podcast, we talked about being your true self. And being more authentic, if you will. Mm-hmm. Well, in order to do that, there's another level, and that's called dealing with regret. And this kick-ass article came. It's not kick-ass, but it was like an acorn on top of the head. Let me read you the article. Here it goes. It says, hospice nurse reveals the heartbreaking regret most people have before they die. And here we go, Jay. It says a California hospice nurse is pulling back the curtain on what people regret most in their final moments. And it's a stark reminder to cherish life while you still can, says Julie McFadden, a veteran nurse who has cared for over 100 patients in their final days, says the biggest regret she hears isn't what you might expect. She goes on to say, the main thing people say that I don't hear a lot of people mention is, I wish I would have appreciated my health. They wish they would have spent more time with their loved ones. Obviously, be more present, right? Because I think a lot of times we talk about it all the time. When you're busy, you're just thinking about the next step ahead, not realizing where your feet are and who you're around. And so it got me thinking, Jay, that at the end of the day, man, it's about learning to live with your regrets and also letting go of what you regret. And so I came up with 3 things, and I had to think, there are 3 things I regret in my life, right? And I want to share them with you. and I want you to share yours if you have any, but I'm gonna go first, right? And I'm gonna go 3, 2, 1. So I'm gonna go backwards, if you will. I'm gonna go down, if you will. Excuse me. The first regret I have, JJ, one of my first regrets, I wish I wish I was more selective about who I slept with and who I laid down with, right? And I'm gonna tell you a quick story because there's two aspects of it. One, man, I remember I was in Pittsburgh and it was a little mom and pop Italian restaurant that I was in love with, right? And so I got to know the mom and pop, got to know the family really well. And before I left Pittsburgh, man, they invited me over to dinner for this big meal they were cooking at the restaurant. And I get to drinking and eating and singing, and I'm, holding hands, and we're kind of doing the whole 1-2. And one of the daughters who got the liking to Willie on the, I didn't even know she liked me. She was just like, she was just into me. And so we're sitting at the bar, man, and we're having a couple, and I'm pounding a couple, she's pounding a couple drinks, and she starts giving me not the like, oh, I got a crush on you eyes. She starts to give me like, oh, I want to fuck you eyes. And I'm like, oh. And so I'm saying to myself, I don't know if I really want to do this. But, I'm a man, and, it is what it is. And so we get to drinking, we go to another bar, man, and we find ourselves back at my place. And JJ, when we both woke up that morning, it was like I kind of ruined the relationship, right? Like, because the family was like my family. And I had no intentions to do anything else with that woman other than what I did that night.
But
I wasn't trying to
what she was thinking, though.
She was trying to get some. Right.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, it could be a one night stand and it was mutual 100%. But I'm like, man, was the sex worth severing the relationship I had built with that family? You know what I'm trying to say? Because I love the dad. I love the mom. Me and the brother were cool. And I'm just like, man, I feel like I ruined it. I feel like I can never go back because I just slept with the daughter and I just kind of was like, hey, I'm gone. So I regret that. And on top of that, man, as you get older and you find the one you love, obviously I found Takesha, the love of my life. You do realize like you got to preserve yourself for your wife, right? And that's the thing I didn't realize or think about when I was kind of courting and doing my thing in these streets, right? I didn't realize like I got to protect myself for my future wife. Because every girl you sleep with at the time when you're young and you live in a fast life is as a notch on the belt, right? You're not thinking like one day I do want to get married. One day I do, want to offer myself to my wife for the rest of my life. And I want to be a healthy vessel, right? I don't want to have, and I don't want to damage that. And I wish I would have been way more selective and way more careful because at the end of the day, man, when you do get married, your wife has to live with you. She has to live with everything you got going on. And it's till death do us part. And so I wish I would have protected myself, and I wish I would have been a lot more careful who I slept with, and just be flat out honest. I wish I would have said no sometimes. Just because somebody likes you doesn't mean wants to sleep with you that you have to say yes. Men do have the power to say no, and I wish I would have exercised that right a little bit more. You got one, Jerry?
Big Willie, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I'm kind of with you on regretting to say no. Big Willie, I ain't gonna lie. Boy, I had just got done. My mama got done and walked me up one day. I had this Buick Regal. Boy, that thing was clean. That was my high school got darn all cowboy. I'm talking about Big Willie. I was doing the darn thing. And all of a sudden, my mama woke me up one morning. She said, baby, won't you get on up and go on down to here and Gil got done and tell got done and Greg, I said, I sent you down there so you can pick out one of them new 1992 Camaros. RS. Big Will, I don't think I ever jumped out the bed so goddamn quick. Oh my goddamn goodness. A brand new Camaro. This is my first brand new car. So goddamn, I got my car, Big Willie. I never forget it was a Wednesday, goddamn, it was raining. Big Willie, I came down around that goddamn curve, leaving off that parking lot. I damn near did a 360 because I wanted to see what that car goddamn could do, Big Willie. I went and picked up this girl. And Big Willie, she was fine as I don't know what. I never forget, goddamn, I went parking. You know, that's what the people say, goddamn it. You know, they don't say goddamn it, you know. Back then, they say, the old folks call it, we went parking.
Right.
Big Willie, I was up on this goddamn road. Ooh-wee. Boy, I'm sitting there trying my best. We smooching, we kissing, got down there, Big Willie. Oh man, it's going down. And she said, it's too soon. It's too soon. We can't do this right now. I said, baby, we good. We good. Big Willie, I don't know about the seats right now today, but them goddamn seats laid back like a bed, boy. I'm talking about, boy, you thought goddamn you was in a motel if you wouldn't up in one goddamn when them seats laid back. Oh boy, it went down. So Big Willie, I was all up into it. I'm talking about the windows fogged up, Big Willie. I'm talking about, boy, it's some heat going on up in there, goddamn. I'm talking about, boy, we sweat. Big Willie, it's going down. So Big Willie, I finally got them goddamn pants down a little bit and put that finger up in it. And for some reason, Big Willie, we just want to smell. Ooh, Big Willie. Oh my goodness. Big Willie, she was goddamn so hot, Big Willie. Boy, that goddamn shit damn near knocked me out. I'm like, what the hell? Big Willie. Big Willie, it was so bad I could smell it now.
Ooh.
Big Willie. You know what I did? Boy, she was so hot, Big Willie. I did a reverse psychology on that. I said, you're right, baby. It's too soon. We ain't got to do it.
You got to get up out of there. You got to back up out of there. I get it.
She said, I'm ready. I said, no, baby. I said, you're right. It's too soon. we can wait, baby. We can wait. We ain't got to do it no more. Big Willie, I hurry up, pull them pants up and dropped off. Big Willie, I ain't went back. I don't know what was going on there, but then one of the moments, I'm sitting there agreeing with you. I wish I had said no.
Yeah. That's a hell of a story. Number 2 for me, and this is something I tell kids all the time, I wish I was a better student. That's one thing I wish I really was a better student because one, and I understand why I wasn't a good student early in my career. Like around the first grade, my mom had suffered a massive stroke, and I was really worried about her. And 2, I just, I didn't like being confined. Like I was an outside kid. So being confined for 8 hours at a Catholic school, worrying about my mother half the day, I just wasn't learning anything. And I realized why I was behind. On top of that, too, I was kind of lazy. I just didn't enjoy sitting down and listening to somebody talk. I realized I'm a visual learner and I got to be more hands-on to kind of receive anything somebody's trying to teach me. But on top of that, when I got to the league, especially as I climbed in my professional career, you spend 4 hours in the classroom just studying plays, schemes. And I realized if I was better in school, I would have had the structure to better write down my notes, be more organized about my thoughts, be more prepped for the game. And I try to tell kids, like, yeah, school may be monotonous and tedious and all that other stuff. However, if you have a structure on how to learn and get the job done, when you are sitting in a classroom with with your coach and your other teammates, man, and you're able to get what you need to know, man, you become a better player. Because listen, I remember when I signed with the Steelers and I was having this real kind of heartwarming talk with my agent at the time. And he goes, Willie, from the neck down, there's no doubt in my mind you are a pro. He said, you're a pro and you can go as far as you are willing to take it. But from the neck up, that's where the game changes. He goes, all about between the ears. If you're able to master your position and learn the playbook and learn the tendencies and the detail on how to be the best you can be, sky's the limit for you. 60% of your job and being a professional football is being able to turn on the film and write things down, detailed notes on how to do your job and how to go against your opponent. And I wish I was a lot better at that.
One thing I definitely regret, and I think about it all the time, Big Willie, is pursuing my goals the way I should have when I was playing sports. I took it for granted. And to be honest with you, Big Willie, I tell anybody, if you always do things to its full capacity and don't give up, because in the long run, you regret it. And I was too talented to be out there and not being able to pursue it the way I should have. If I could have did things different, I would have grind. I wouldn't have been sitting there worrying about, I got a car, I got done, I could ride around, get the females, I could do this. Oh man, we got down there, my partners, we gonna hang out, because you start getting more into, the stuff that really don't make no sense instead of the stuff that really makes sense. And I was looking at it as I'm gonna miss out on something. Got done, my ball got done, and look here, if I gotta go to practice, then I'm gonna miss out on this. And on top of that, I had to work because I had to have transportation to get to school. But it still should have been some kind of way if I put my mind to it that I could have did that, work, went to school, got done it, and still played football, but I didn't pursue that like I should have. And right now today, when I look at football and stuff, when I look at basketball, baseball, I'll be like, man, just if I just had pursued it, where I could have been right now. And that's the reason when I see people like you and you did pursue your dream and everything, man, it's like it's a lost void that I didn't accomplish in my life. And I'm the type of person, I always follow through. I'm always hungry. I always want to be the best in what I do. When I was going up against receivers, goddamn it, if they go out and make a big play, Big Willie, I was so goddamn hungry, it'll mess with my mind because I didn't want him to do something better than me. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make an even bigger play because I was just that competitor that I'm not finna let you outshine me. And that's one of the things that I regret that I didn't do in life.
I respect that. My number one regret, and I don't know if I've told you this. So the year I won the Super Bowl, which was in 2008, 2009, prior to the start of that season, I had lost my father, and we weren't in good terms. And that's one thing I wish I would have mended that. I wish I would have said, you know what, let's just talk. Right? He fell sick and ultimately he passed. But before it, we just weren't talking, and it was because of a lot of reasons. I harbored a lot of emotions how he treated my mother, and the thing is too, you know, he was somebody. The problem, and to keep it a buck, we were the same person, right? We were both loving, we were both stubborn, we were hot headed, we were prideful, but we kept family first. And we both had this machismo about us, and I learned my machismo from him. He's the only dude I knew in the projects, and you know, obviously I'm an '80s baby, and there was multiple people in the projects that wore chains, but he would wear his chains like 10. It seemed like he had 10 chains around his neck,
Wow.
and he would walk through any projects, anywhere, and nobody would blow a whistle at him or try him. And I always thought that was like, man, this, you know, my dad's a lion. But the problem is I had seen too much. I had seen so much of his ugly and not enough his good. And I never talked about the disappointment and kind of the hurt he caused me and my brothers. And I always felt like if I would have had that sit down with him and really just dumped all of it out, our relationship would have ended on a high note instead of me regretting all the things I wanted to say to him. And I also realized as you get older, Jay, parents are people too.
Yeah.
And that's the main gem I've grown to learn as, you know, and as an adult, that, you know, parents are people too. They're kind of springboarding off the trauma and things their parents gave them, you know. And so it took me a lot to kind of learn that. And then as much as I love my mother and she will forever be a saint in my eyes, she had a lot of shit with her that you know, there's a lot of shit she did. I was like, Ma, that's not cool. And so you start to see your parents not as mom and dad, but as people who try to navigate life to the best they possibly could. I remember seeing my teammates' dads on the field. I'm like, man, I miss my pops. I wish he was here to see me hoist the Lombardi. And so with all that said, man, you know, if you're going through something, or if you have beef with anybody, man, mend it, man. Have that uncomfortable conversation, get it out, because you fall tone deaf. You only hear yourself. You don't hear the other side. And sometimes you don't really receive it because your anger gets in the way. So that's one thing I wish I would have done. I would have said, hey, dump out my anger last minute and tell him I love him before he left this earth. And I never got that chance. So that sucks.
Exactly. And one thing I could say, Big Willie, on that too as well, far as with the dad situation, I would say that I wish I had more time to do things with him in life as well, coming up as a child. Because for one, you gotta realize people don't know my dad worked 3 jobs. So I might have saw my dad that got done and come in, got done there when he was just taking us to school, and that was it. Because he would got done and go to the police. He would work at a restaurant from like maybe I'm gonna say 10 to 1, go to the jail, work from 2 to 11, and from the guy down at 2 to 10, and go to the security and work from 11 to 6 in the morning. And then he would pull up and got down there, sit there and take us, got down there to school, drop us off, got down it. And I ain't gonna lie, it seemed like he had the worst goddamn car it was, got down it, because me and my brothers could hear him coming, got down from around the corner when he was 3 miles away, cause the muffler was gone. And then Big Willie, is like for some reason the wives always drive the best car. But when my dad came and got it, you can hear that mug like a motorcycle. Whoa! And we like, God dang. He's sitting there turning the steering wheel because it didn't have no power steering. So he all his might trying to turn the goddamn wheel like something just stuck. And I'm like, what in the world? Big Willie, the wife could have let him goddamn just use the car to take us to school if nothing else. But for some reason, we like, nah, just drop us off down the street.
Right.
But
Save
the
your
thing
gas.
is, we didn't have, I don't feel like I had enough time. He didn't come to my games as much because he's working all the time. And to go on that trip, Big Willie, it was the first time he's ever been out the country or on a cruise ship. So that was a special moment right there. And I just wish I had more time. And another thing I regret is I have done everything with my mom, but take her up on the cruise. And we done been to Barbados. We spent my 50th birthday up in Dubai. And the only thing I want to do is like I could just feel something, Big Will. I said, this is the only thing I haven't did. I just tell So Gucci and I tell my mama, don't do nothing that's going to mess you up. Don't do nothing. We got to go on this trip. We got to go on this trip. It's like I was just trying to fit it in and I could feel it. Something wasn't right, but I didn't know what it was, Big Willie. But I knew I was desperately trying to get my mom on this cruise because that was the only thing I hadn't done yet. And when the doctor was like, no, you ain't gonna be able to go. This council ain't gonna let you go. I knew then. I was like, dang. I could just feel it. I like, that's the reason I was trying to get my mom on the cruise. And what tripped me out, Big Willie, even though my mom is gone, she's still being a character today. But because before we was going to go on that cruise right around Thanksgiving time, I had a wild hog killed. So got done it. You get it processed and everything. And I told my mom, I got a wild hog. My mama bring it. She was like, baby, I ain't got nowhere to put it at. And I'm thinking, Mama gotta have somewhere to put it. I said, Mama, I bought you a deep freezer just for the deer. I mean, for the deer and the wild hog. So when I get it, oh baby, I gave that deep freezer to Shawana. I'm like, Mom, how you gonna get my deep freezer away?
Your
Baby,
sister.
that wasn't your deep freezer. I bought that deep freezer. I say, Mom, do you not remember I got that deep freezer so I could get the hogs and stuff so we can put in there so you can have enough room? So my sister had moved because she was going through divorce. So I guess my mama was trying to be nice and said, well, baby, you can take the deep freezer. So I'm sitting there mad, that Big Will. I was like, Mom, I'm finna get ready to go. So now I'm telling Gucci, Mama, don't gave my deep freezer away. So got down there, I said, man, you know what? Life too short. I didn't let them little things like that hold me because I would have felt a lot better now if I didn't, do the things I was supposed to do. So Big Willie, when she died, she had a will. She had everything wrote out what everybody got there and supposed to get. And of course, on the end of got done at that will, she say, Jay, get the deep freezer with the food in it. Now everybody in there laughing. I said, oh, now Mama's still trying to be funny.
Oh man! So just to put a bow on it, man, for everybody out there, you got to learn to live with regret. That's one of my favorite Jay-Z songs. But also, on a serious note, talk about it, man. Get it out because holding on to regret and holding on to grudges is like drinking poison. You're only hurting yourself. So, got to get it out. All right, we're gonna take a break. Why Willie Podcast Show. All right, everybody, we are extremely fortunate to have my brother from another, James Harrison. I was able to play with him during my time with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's somebody that has impacted my life in a multitude of ways. Me and JJ was able to catch up with him and kind of take a deep dive into, fatherhood, the man, his football career, his perception of the Steelers and the NFL as a whole. And it was a sight to behold. The one and only James Harrison.
Big Willie, I just got to ask you, what's really going on? I know we got the wonderful James Harrison going on here. Is this still a thing? Because, see, I'm a Cowboy fan, and I'm trying to get up into this. This is how y'all do it up in Steeler Nation.
We have my brother from another 2-time Super Bowl champ, 5-time Pro Bowler, somebody who's near dear to my heart. I called this man. I said, hey, man, I got a podcast. I would love to have you on. And he was like, yeah, I got you, bro. We've been roughly waiting for about 10 minutes, and I'm assuming this man is doing God's work, saving a kid from a tree, saving kids from a burning car. and he pops on the camera, and he got a sexy chocolate. He got a sexy chocolate vibe going on right now. He's on a massage table with his lips all greased up. James,
Is they know?
what are you eating, James?
I ain't eating nothing, man. I'm eating real clean, man. I'm just I'm living life. I told you I'd be there at 1. I kind of just lost track of time when I was getting worked on. So instead of canceling off, I got to make sure I'm there. So I'm here, baby. We getting this in. So
James Harrison is arguably one of my favorite people in the world. I love him. I consider him family. I really do. And one thing about having people in your life, there's people who are just routine, and there's people who are just keep you on your toes. Obviously, you can see JJ. James is one of the people that keep you on your motherfucking toes.
Big Willie.
I ain't mean to keep you on your toes like this, baby, but hey, listen here. I had to get I got to get the treatment. I got to get my body right. I got to make sure I can still function even after this game is over with. That's the big thing. A lot of the things that I did was for preventative care, so that when I was done with the game, I could still go out here and be able to have a somewhat comfortable life as far as being able to function, move, and have my body feeling feeling semi good.
That's
I want to
working.
start with football. Obviously, the season, Steelers season is over. Your thoughts on how the season ended?
I don't know, man. It's kind of become a pattern, and I don't know exactly what it is that they need to do to correct it, but something needs to be done. And I think the biggest thing that for me as a as a former Steeler, I think the biggest thing that needs to be done is we have to get that that position of quarterback really rectified with someone that is truly solid through and through. I mean, Russ did a good job while he was in there, but when it came down to the end, we just couldn't keep up with being able to put points up, especially when the defense, didn't, play to the level that they were capable of.
If you were in the front office, what moves do you make?
I'm glad I'm not in that position, man, because I don't have to make those moves. Man, I don't know. I'm not in the building
Right.
to be able to say what is or what isn't going on. But I think people are now starting to look at things like as far as like the lineage of coaches that have come out, and him not having a coach tree and so on and so forth. I think we got to get better all around. I just don't see one thing as a fix all. We got to get better with the players. We got to get better with the coaching. I think it's just so much there, and like I said, I'm not in the building, so I can't
Right.
I
I got
can't
you.
really.
When you look at this team now compared to how y'all was, do that make you feel like a certain kind of way, knowing that team supposed to be more dominant?
I mean, of course it does. It's not what you're used to. The standard is
Mm-hmm.
standard. It's not really. It's not really. It feels like a saying now. It's not something that you actually see. Um, I think if I'm the head coach of a
Mm-hmm.
football team, and I've been the head coach of this football team for however long that's been, and now the team is not doing well, that has to all fall on my shoulders because I've been here long enough to be able to draft who I want and put the guys in the positions that I need. So for me to be like, well, I haven't been able to get this or get that. Well, I'm the guy that's supposed to be getting that, and I've been here long enough to get it. I should have been doing something proactively, you know, if it's a position I need filled ahead of time to try and get somebody to be able to come in and get that done. So when it comes down to it, rather, you want to say, oh, the D coordinator, offense coordinator. When it comes down to it, I'm the I'm the head coach. I put everybody in the positions they're in. I got the players that I got. So it has to be me that has to take the ultimate responsibility.
There's the man, there's the myth, and there's the legend, right? The legend is obviously for what you were able to do on the football field, the man, I think sometimes gets avoided because I think people want to see you always in this menacing light, right? Like I know all three aspects of you because we're close like that. But I think the myth, man, is probably one of my favorite because there's during your time when you were tearing up the league, man, there is this perception that you were just walking around just knocking people out, like on some WWE shit. Like you just on just beating people up, or you just had this menacing way about you. And I think as I sit here and listen, it worked, right? It worked for the brand, right? It worked for the
no
brand,
question.
but it worked for the brand. But I also think people don't understand how one truly how humble you are. Two, how you as you look like this, you're built like marble. There is this side of you where you do communicate and relate to people. I can't tell you how when I look at or hear some of the testimonies from like Bud Dupree and some of those other Steelers who grew up under you. But man, like yeah, he was the big bad wolf, but he was the big bad wolf with knowledge, man. What do you think is the biggest misconception when it comes to James Harrison?
It's just that it's the it's the image that they get to see on Sunday, they get to see on game day. Um, I didn't really do a lot of interviews. And the interviews that I did do, I made them short and sweet. I think it's the fact that everybody thinks, oh, James Harrison is this wild loose cannon that is ready to snap, at the blink of an eye. And, it's not true.
The way the game has changed today, based off how y'all was playing, could you play the game right now today? You being used to how you was playing back then.
I could definitely play the game the way it's being played today. The only issue is that if I played the game today, it would be a lot more. I think I would injure a lot more people versus actually hurting them, because you have to lower your target area to where you're going at guys' knees, just for the sake of trying to save yourself money so that you don't get fined or suspended. So now you're actually putting their whole career in jeopardy just so that you can go away and not, you know what I'm saying, get fined. Like you got things now where, you got a guy coming across the middle and dude hits him good and solid, but a part of his helmet hit a part of his helmet, and now he's suspended or fined. So the only thing you have left is to hit in that low knee area, because I'm not gonna hit you in the thickest part of your body and take a chance of injuring myself by taking my neck, shoulders, and putting it into your mid area from below your stomach to the top of your thigh. I'm gonna go to the easiest part to get off, for me to be able to get through, so I don't hurt myself.
What's the wildest thing you said to a dude across from you, from a talking shit standpoint?
I never really talked like that, man.
I know you did talk shit. I was there with you. I know you didn't talk shit, but I know if somebody said some shit to you, like I had my left guard at the time. When I was with the Jets, and it was Ode Abushi, and this is when I was actually with the Jets, and we played still. Well, this is a funny story too, JJ. When I was at the Jets, James was still with the
I don't even remember if I said something to him, dog. I don't even remember. I ain't gonna lie to you. I might have said something wild, bro. If you talk to me, if somebody talk to me now, I'm gonna say something back, and I ain't got no filter.
And so this kid's on like year two in the league, maybe a year rookie, right? And so first of all, when I'm in a Jets uniform, I'm looking at my former tribe. It's like being exiled from your tribe. So I'm looking at the Steelers. It was like surreal. And I remember looking over at James, and he just started laughing at me because you can see my face like, yeah, you're on the other side of this shit now, right? And so I remember, my left guard, Ode, and James are getting into it, right? And so I ended up getting a fight at the end of the game. And I can hear James go, hey, I wish you would punch. Grab my face mask so I could fuck you up, right? And I can hear my young boy go, like, no, why would I do that? Like why would I? He was like, no, do it. So James was trying to egg this dude on so he can have a reason for knocking his shit open. Yeah. And I remember going to Ode, I was like, man, you was about to fight James? He goes, I didn't want to fight him. He's like, I didn't. He's like, I didn't want to. And he's like, he's trying to get me to fight him. And I just always thought it's funny because I think it goes along to how everybody perceives you. That one, people don't know you don't talk shit, but you are going to finish it. That's 100% true. Yeah. Was there anybody on the opposite side of you, man, that like, man, that guy was a dog, just like how I'm a dog?
So, I ain't gonna even lie to you. I never met anybody that could match my strength. So that was
Wow.
not a thing. That was not a thing for me. But
Mm.
as far as being able to withstand and handle like a bull rush my pass rush things was Joe Thomas. I ain't gonna lie. Like
Mm.
he could handle it.
Mm.
Run aspects of a guy coming to run block me. No, I'm gonna get you up out of here. Like I don't care. I
Mm.
don't give a damn who you are on that. That's
Dang.
not my.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, I want to talk about the defense that obviously you and James Ferrier, Troy Polamalu, that whole historic defense, man. As you've been off the field for some time now, and you've see the game right now in its entirety of where it's at right now. What's something you take away from that defense, like from a special standpoint? Like what was so special about that defense? Like, man, we were them.
Dude, to be honest with you, man, it was what was special about the defense is everybody truly cared about everybody, dude. It was
It's
family.
true.
My kids call all those guys uncle. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And same with their kids. And we spent so much time with each other, man, that it was a true like bond. Like it like even just in the locker room, like after work. I spent more time at times, dude, with them than I did my family, dude.
Mm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that right there helped to create, that understanding, that unspoken, communication on the field to be able to, go out there and do things like Troy would do, where he got deep third, he jumps over the line, and makes a tackle for a loss to stop the third down conversion,
Right.
things like that. And Ryan in the back, he's playing 2/3 now because Troy gave up the 1/3 to jump over the line.
Right.
you know
Right.
Mm.
and then a true, like, I want to do this. Like, it's selfishness, to be honest with you. I'm selfishly want to be better because I want to be good, but at that same point in time, I want us to be great as a group. And the better I can be at my position and do my job, the more I can do to help my teammate next to me. Like, the biggest thing for me is when I started playing linebacker, I need to learn what I was doing. So after I
Mm-hmm.
learned what I was doing, I need to learn what my corner on the left of me or whatever he was at was doing. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, I want to know what my end is doing, and I want to know what my linebacker that's behind me is doing. Why? Because I can better fill this curl flat. Where if I don't get something in my zone, let me instead of being 12, let me drop 15 to 17 because I know they got a deep. I know they got something deep coming behind me, so that they're trying to get that in between. Or if they got that short in front of me, I'm like, oh. They really got something coming at 17, so I'm gonna play deep to short. It's just things, like the gap. I know he got C gap. So if I can squeeze my D gap tighter, I'll make his gap smaller to get to.
Mm.
Right.
Just things like that.
I think you hit it on the head, man. I think from being on the offensive side of the ball, you guys obviously spearheaded the team because I think you guys were a walking reflection of selflessness and family. I think, especially from the offensive line standpoint, we were fortunate enough to see the brotherhood. And I think in real time, because I think you've been in other locker rooms, or you and I have been in other locker rooms. It's rare, right? But if you only
Yes,
stay in one locker room, you have this perception that it's like that
it's
around
that's
the
just
league.
what it is
That's
everywhere.
what it is,
Like
and
that's
it's
what you
not.
thought. Yep.
And it's not, and that was the hardest thing for me when I got to the Jets. It's not just about the hanging out. Yeah, the hanging out is important and having the dinners and kind of and kicking it. All that's real, but it is the mindset that this dude, one, cares about football as much as I do, two, cares about winning as much as I do, and three, is selfless enough to be like, listen, man, I got the dirty work today. Like I tell everybody, I think one of the unsung heroes of our defense is probably Ike Taylor, because Ike Taylor had the number one
Hmm.
guy day after day. Like as much as your
We
name
got the
ring
read.
bells, yeah, whatever. As much as your name ring bells and Potsy and Troy and on, you go to list. Ike had Ocho Cinco on Sunday. He had Terrell Owens. He had Chad Johnson. Like he had all those big time receivers week after week. And this dude was playing sometimes with a cast on his arm.
Mm.
Sometimes he was playing with a guy, a
Listen,
back.
man.
The
If
dude
if
was a
I
dog.
if I could catch, man, he would have made Pro
Way
Bowl
more
after
Pro
Pro
Bowlers.
Bowl. He
Yeah.
just could not
Yeah.
catch
Mm.
Motherfucker he had hands. He had hands like stone
bricks,
hands.
bro. He got hands like bricks, man. That ball hit the ball hit Ike in the hands. It was like he was throwing it to the ground sometimes, man.
I want to pivot and talk about the man. You mentioned fatherhood. One thing I love about your story, man, is that you were a kid from, Akron, Ohio, humble beginnings, big family. But out of your mama and father, who you think, I mean, both parents, I left an impression on you, but I always hear you talk about your mama. And there was a walking narrative, but your mama was no joke to mess with. I met her once or twice, and she was legit as it comes, man.
This is the crazy thing, though, is that everybody think I'm more like my mom.
Why is that?
Because they seen my dad as he was older,
Wow.
and he became the person that you're seeing in me right now. Like you said, the man, how we talk, well, I ain't gonna go into that, but the things that we talked about,
Yeah.
and growing into, like you said, being a real man, like fatherhood, and relating to things that you didn't as a young man. And my dad was me, the myth, times 2, 3. You
Oh,
know what I'm
really?
saying? Like that was my dad when he was young, but everybody saw my dad when he was older and calmed down, and he was the guy that everybody went to get, to, hey, mom tripping, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, but I am my dad. Like, I was spit out and molded by it.
Wow.
So, okay, just for clarification, so your dad was the wild boy, but they only saw him in his, I
My
guess.
mom, yes, my mom calmed my daddy down, but he was, my dad was the wild one.
So who was the one that was disciplining you? Because
My
when people,
mom.
Mom didn't get that,
She-
Jane.
Oh, listen, she was walking the dog.
Wow.
My dad,
because how
my
many
dad,
siblings you
my
have?
dad beat me. Like, if you got beaten by my dad, you got 3 of them. I mean, you got two weapons. My dad only beat me 3 times in my life.
Wow.
Really?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But mama didn't
I
play.
was playing with a gun one time. They caught me, walked the dog on me and my nephew, and 2 other times was school. My dad didn't play about school.
So how many siblings do you totally have? Because I think that's
I'm the youngest of 14.
Oh
I got
wow.
13. Yeah.
Well, what Jane,
no wonder he was tired.
hold on.
He had to whoop so much ass before you got there.
Hey,
Jane, you
listen,
got it
man.
easy.
Hey,
Then
here,
they
I'm
didn't do
gonna
nothing to
give
you.
you something even crazier though. I'm 20 years removed from, like, my older sibling, and I'm still 8 years removed from the nearest sibling. So
Yeah.
I was like a damn near only child, you know what I'm saying? And then they
Yeah.
would say the same thing. They'd be like, "You get it so easy." I'd be like, "Y'all crazy. Y'all want to sit there and get whooped night and day." I'm like, I'm not. They used to get beat with extension cords, bro. I'm like, nah.
Jay said,
Mm-mm.
So
I can't
some so,
listen.
so some might say you spoiled. Or you
Yeah.
the baby. Or
That's what
you
they be trying to say. I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all crazy. I just ain't stupid enough to keep getting the dog walked on me. Y'all out of control.
So did mama take it easy on you since you was the baby?
No, listen, she
Huh?
hit me. My mom hit me out, took my last whooping when I was like 14, dude.
Come on, James.
My
Mama
mama
ain't
hit
hit you,
me.
didn't you?
Listen, my mama hit me 9 times with extension cord. That was the last time I was ever taking a whipping again. I said, you know what? I can't never act up again, or I can't get caught, because I don't know what I'm gonna do if I gotta take this cord, man.
Yeah.
She hit me 9 times. She hit me two, and said, keep your ass still for 3, and I might let you get up, man. I stayed for that
Ooh.
3, man. This is what but hold up. This what happened though. This what happened. So the time before, she whipped me with a belt, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All my sisters and brothers was downstairs, right? So she go upstairs, she whipped me with the belt. Dot, dot. I told you, blah, blah. And I ain't crying, I ain't doing nothing, right? So I get up, as soon as she get done, I get up, pull my pants up, run back downstairs. They like, oh, it ain't hurt? I'm like, yeah. No. Man, she come down the steps behind me. She said, I got something for your ass next time. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
She had something for me, boy. And then I tell you, well, I did something when I was 16. And but she had got me a car. So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to go home and take this ass whooping. I ain't tripping though. Man, I walked in the house. She said, hey, you don't punch me. I said, what's that? She said,
Oh.
she said, that car don't move. You don't leave here. Don't nothing happen after you get home. I said, hold up. Can I get that whooping? She said, your ass ain't going nowhere for 2 months. I said,
That
oh,
hurt more
God.
than anything.
That hurt more than I was ready to take the
Woo.
whooping.
Yeah.
How you ask like, hold up, I can't get the whooping though? Who's
No, well,
asking for the
hey, listen,
whooping?
brother, 2 months I just got a fresh wet.
Yes.
Man.
Ooh, that
Oh, so
hurt.
you was in the streets. So
Schooling back.
He was talking about far as how y'all came up and what you hang around, what you become. Don't matter if you go to the bar and you gonna still hit that weight room and everything.
Mhm.
And y'all was as one. Far as the game today is, do you think based off how the era was when you was coming up, far as what the guys is today, that is different? It's like more of self. Okay, I'm gonna get my check. I understand I gotta play as a team, but it's still about me versus y'all was like it's about
To,
us. We gonna make each other look good.
I think social media has really destroyed, and
Mm.
you got kids that are so into them, and everybody has their own platform, and what I say is important, and I think we done lost that group, that group
Mm-hmm.
magnetism as far as like, the better you do, the better I do. Like
hmm
we do this
Yeah.
together, where you got guys that it's like, oh, we go to the club or we go out, and you got one dude or a couple guys that got a VIP section, and you got other guys they over here got a VIP section,
Mm-hmm.
and Willie will tell you, dude, when we would go out, when we were in the Steelers, dude, we 25, 35 deep, and
Like a
everybody
goddamn Wu
together.
Tang Clan.
Yeah.
It's like a competition now, right now.
Well, I
And
think to
now it's just guys just really just being like, it's like they want their own shine, man. It's just
Yeah.
it's no, like you can't. They want to be recognized over and above, everybody else. That it's like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, like we all can get that if we're doing well as a group. Like if you're doing great as a player, but you don't make it into the playoffs, like Joe Burrow, dude, that dude balled out, but they did so horrible as a team, he didn't get
Yeah.
no look at
yeah, he had
any
the
type of
MVP numbers.
Mm-hmm.
accolades whatsoever.
But I also wanted to ask you this because you were one of the people that impacted my career. Um, Outside of obviously you mentioned Peasy, who else impacted your career that kind of really put you in line to be a future Hall of Famer?
But Keith Butler, dude, my linebacker coach, without Keith Butler, dude, being able to, because it was hard for me to learn that defense, man. Without him being able to teach me that defense and the nuances of that position and being able to play it because he played it,
Mm.
having a guy coach you at that position that can actually coach you and then be like, you know what? I know I'm asking you to do something that's extremely hard because I know it. I've played the position. So try doing this here because it's going to make it easier for you to do it. It's little things, man. Even like I said, it's big things, but it's also little things. Like he would tell us, hey, man, you get into these mud games, stagger your cleats, high,
Mm.
low, big cleat, small cleat, so that when you step on that ground, those cleats will dig in and you won't slip. Dude, I
Mm-hmm.
never slipped after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then he's like, listen, when you break, most guys break and press on their toes. He's like, I want you to put all seven. He said, put all seven studs in the ground because that's going to give you a whole foot to press off instead of it just being you pressing off that calf. He's like, you go get off your break faster. And, it was things like that. And then Dick LeBeau, without Dick LeBeau, man, and his fires on defense, his way of coaching through love, man. And when I say, man, when Dick LeBeau truly cared and loved his players, even
Oh,
after they were
100%.
gone. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was something that a lot of guys, loved and just really needed, especially guys that didn't have, father figures, you know what I'm saying? Didn't have someone that was actually there for them throughout without it just being because of the game. Even to this
Mm-hmm.
day, I still hear from Coach LeBeau from time to time, or I'll still call him. So, Keith Butler and Dick LeBeau, I credit them with everything that, is me.
Everybody talks about how you had a great career. You do amazing stuff on film right now. Is there any aspect of your career that you do regret?
I can't say it's really any aspect of my career that I do regret. Everything happens for a reason, and prime example, like, hey, James, don't you wish you were drafted? Well, if I was
Mm.
drafted, then I definitely wouldn't have been in Pittsburgh, and I wouldn't have my sons.
Oh wow.
Mm.
So
That's
everything
something to think
happens for a
about.
reason, and good, bad, or indifference, um, it's nothing that I regret. It may be some things that I wish I could have did differently,
Like what?
that may have changed the situation, in a game. Like, like if I could have maybe caught this pick or made
Right.
that sack, things like that. But as far as a whole, no.
I'm gonna let you out of here, but as you were turning your head, I started to see some hair on your head. Is that from lack of shaving your head, or are you trying to
Yeah.
grow that little bootsy ass fade?
Nah,
Uh,
nah, nah.
oh,
That's I ain't had a haircut in about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
JJ, you
Yeah,
don't notice. Well, so when I was young Willie in the league and I was just
Yeah.
starting my dread journey, Debo actually had hair, but he had his shit wrapped around here.
Yeah.
So he looked a lot older. He looked a lot
Yeah.
older than he did. He looked really young in the face, but he had that goddamn that
Yeah.
beaver wrapped around his head, man. Do you miss
Yeah.
having hair?
no. I wish it would stop growing. To be honest with you, man. Like I get tired of having to go to the barber like once a week, once every other week or something. Get just to get it cut.
We got one question we got to ask because everybody gonna ask us if we don't
I know.
ask
Go ahead.
James Harrison what was going on the show. What was the needles that was up in you, James?
Oh, that was acupuncture. Yeah,
Willie done did it before
yeah, I do
with the
What
acupuncture.
same
is that?
person actually. So
Yep, Lisa.
yeah, I put him on with her. Yep.
I waited too late in my career to find Lisa. Lisa found me when I was in the back end. I was a dying dog when they found Lisa.
And
I
what
should
it's
have jumped.
supposed to do?
It helps with all like muscle soreness,
Mm.
getting fresh, getting red blood cells there because when every needle that goes in, your body sends a signal to like go see what's going on, check it out, and that's and then muscle tightness, soreness, injury. It helps with all that.
I'm gonna get you out of here. I know you still got a lot of things going on, and I know you got the boys coming up. Hey, I love you. You know that.
No, you too, baby.
Tell
Yes,
Lisa I
sir.
said what up. We'll
Will
do it
do.
again. I'll be in Pittsburgh in a month. We're gonna get up, man.
All right, see you then.
To the future Hall of Famer, 2-time Super Bowl champ,
Yes,
the
sir.
James Harrison. We're going to come on back. Wild Willie Podcast Show. Thank you once again to my former teammate, James Harrison, 2-time Super Bowl champ, 5-time Pro Bowler. Hell of a human being, man. Don't believe the hype. That man is all gold with a big old heart. He's a bad motherfucker, but he's still got a heart of gold. JJ, I'm getting out of here. I want you to be able to survive the cold. Don't let it keep you down. I'm pretty sure So Gucci you would keep her in shape. So I'm pretty sure you would do that. So.
I'm hoping, Big Willie. We praying. Hopefully, her and Keisha don't get on the phone and discuss something.
I know,
Get our hopes up high, and then another cold night.
Yeah, we got to break that up. We got to cut that cord, man.
Exactly.
They doing too much talking, not enough loving.
Exactly.
Yeah. I guess. All right, JJ, let's get out of here. I'm Willie Cologne, and he is
JJ, baby, and we'll see you next week.